There we go. So it's me and you and me. No matter what they say to us, we'll always be. So only one for me is you and you for me. So happy together. And all my love. Have I not been singing since you got here?
Yeah.
That's Sober Me. Sober Me sings.
Whoa.
What was that? McConaughey? What was that?
I don't need this.
All right.
Let's set that right.
Lincoln Lawyer. Are you nervous I don't have any notes, or do you feel I'm fully prepared for what we're about to do?
Oh, we'll see.
Please. Everett K. Ross, please.
Ready?
Why are you slapping yourself? Believe it or not, there's actually films he's seen that I haven't.
Same.
But we're here to correct that. Fuck is up, internets? What your mom made you do last night? Clean your room. What your dad do? Tell you to pull the car in and put gas in it. I'm gonna tell you what he made me do. Strangers with Candy.
Oh man, I'm thoroughly excited to hear what you thought. What you thought about this
Shout
movie.
out. I mean, just go ahead and throw the cover up there right now. Yet again, this is one of those films that
Bada bing, bada boom.
Now, I will say this. This is one of those films that I think would have probably fallen in the Walmart bin. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just simply saying that, you know how sometimes you say you can't even find it in the Walmart bin? Clearly, this is something that would have been in there. But I'll be honest with you. Just by the cover of it, wouldn't even watched it if we weren't doing this show and you hadn't recommended it.
For people out there that were like you before last night, what's Strangers with Candy in a nutshell?
In a nutshell comparison, if you don't know who this character is, during the film I asked you was this character on Saturday Night Live. It reminded me of what was the character? Phil? Pat. Yeah, Pat. And I'm not saying that from a perspective you don't know what you're gonna get going into this. And at times, the things that are done in this film now, people would destroy people for what they did in this film.
Faggot.
What'd you say?
What did you hear?
I'd rather not repeat it.
Well, then I guess we'll never know.
But I love it because it was when comedy had the protection of the common people, if I can.
Yeah, I think it was made over 14, 15 years ago.
Well, then
things have changed quite a bit. And especially like Stephen Colbert.
God damn it!
Who is one of the creators of it.
One of the writers, yes.
He's like, a late night show host now. So he's like on the forefront of cancel culture and political correctness. And
well, that's weird.
It's crazy to see how far he's come or how low he's sunk.
Or how long it's been since he's came.
Is Joffrey?
I'll say this. You had to be a strong to a very strong actor to be in this film because the writing was very good, but not only because of that, but the people who were nailing their parts, you can tell that it was no C acting. It was really shining, but then you could see the other people's part. They couldn't keep up, and it wasn't even fair to them.
Well, yeah, Iris, the old lady, she's a terrible actress, but they
built it in.
There was you could tell they had a really good way of like leaning into people's strengths and weaknesses to make it funny.
Yes, Principal Blackman.
What happened to the documents the school board requested?
I don't know.
And we got and of course we got the Moon God. AKA before he became Star-Lord, he was Moon God.
Yeah. Fucking greasy looking Chris Pratt. Yeah. You got the full moon. It's like look at that stinker.
Oh, and here's the thing. Had I saw him in that first, I'd be like, there's no way he's gonna make it. But I mean, that's when he was total douche. I saw total douche, and I don't get that from him now at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Parks and Recreation humbled him. He leaned into his flubber.
And here's the crazy part. I didn't meet him in Parks and Recreation. You remember I told you I met him in Wanted with James McAvoy.
That's crazy. I haven't even seen that.
You know what? That needs to be his own segment in films David had me seen. You'd be shocked.
So Strangers with Candy. I'm sure if you're watching this, it's because you've loved Strangers with Candy. But just
or you love TTFT, either one.
And if you are one of those people who are just watching it because you love us and you haven't seen the movie, in a nutshell, Jerry Blank, it's kind of like a She's All That situation. You know, like make the girl popular. The girl goes back to school, never been kissed, turned on its head. Jerry Blank gets out of prison. She has lived a very shady life. Her daddy's in a coma.
Dr. Putney, what's wrong with my daddy?
Mommy and daddy.
So the doctor sets up this ridiculous plot point that the dad seems to be doing better when she is in his presence and she's making him proud.
He's bringing him back to life.
I'm gonna stop you right there, because normally, in the past we've said we'll get to that, but I now know that's never a promise. So I'm gonna stop you right there. This was it's almost right. It's the second greatest staircase scene I've seen in my life. You already know what the first one is, Beetlejuice. But this one here, to see him reverse slide down, and with his legs were crossed as if he was going down like a fireman's
out of
pole.
nowhere.
Thank you for coming, Doctor.
You don't see him.
It's not coming out of nowhere.
You don't see him get on the stairs. It just cuts to him. And it's almost like, if you notice when he got off the stairs, he gives him a little slap, like, "Oh, my old pals, you still got it." It's like this is a thing that he's done his whole life when he goes to that house.
You know what's crazy? That happens within the first 15 minutes of the movie. And I remember looking at you and saying, in the end, I was like, please tell me he's going to go downstairs again. And even though he didn't, in my mind, I made him go down those stairs. Remember he leaves the room again?
There's just no, I think they put that in there at the beginning specifically. No character. You might be able to read into it and think like, oh, well, this is the character. He's like, young at heart. He's innocent. But there's no reason for it other than the fact that in the moment they probably thought it'd be funny for the doctor. Like, how ridiculous would it be for the doctor? And it sets it up perfectly when what you're getting into. Like,
because he goes. If you notice, he goes on a zany ride, and that's exactly what Jerry Blank is getting ready to go on, a zany ride back to high school, and it lets you know what you're set up for right away. When you see her, first off, and what's one thing we all can relate on, especially here in Florida, we hate people getting honking at us or laying on the horn. The next morning, as she re-infiltrates into her dad's house to go to school for the first day to get her dad better on the doctor's prescription, she is outside honking the horn repeatedly. Only for her stepmom to come downstairs and say, I want you to take me to school on my first day. And the school, you see how close me and him are? This is how close the house is to the school. And that tracking shot was brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, they of course had to shoot that in two different locations because they couldn't find a house across the street from the school.
Not with a sex register predator.
But they did a perfect job of that cutaway, and then the car backing up to the, out of the frame. Yeah, one thing we're missing here, like, I love the younger brother step plot because it's always this war between the brother and the sister, but it starts immediately. He walks in, he's like, what is this? Like,
What are you talking about, troll? We squat together, we spot each other on the workout mat, and we play grab ass in the showers. How is that gay?
Eat it, troll. What are you doing, Stump?
I'll have you know, Stump, that the varsity squat throws team took 3rd in all conference.
And how does that make you not gay?
and remember when what Brayson came to the house? What's up, Brayson?
Yeah. Oh man, that squat you did the other day was legendary.
I saw the final thrust you made in that meet against Mountain Valley. It changed the way I thought about squatting.
And he's just staring at him the whole time, like all struggling.
Whatever, man.
What are you doing, troll?
And here's the thing: when that relationship between brother and sister carries on across the street into the high school, and you really see now Jerry again. First off, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the opening montage where we see Jerry just getting out of jail. Jerry went from, we don't know immediately why Jerry goes to jail. It's like Ernest goes to jail, but we don't know why she's in there. All we know is she was getting punked for a long time, and one day she just got tired of getting punked.
In and out of prison like a junkie Jack in the Box. Change.
Yeah. I was hoping we would get a call back to that first girl that made her a woman or a man or whatever she made her, but the opening sour scene and the punch scene, like, and all of a sudden she goes to shanking people, and that's the thing, they don't just lean into it. It's just subtle callbacks when she has them,
like out of nowhere.
Don't be crossing my food line when she's talking to her brother at the dinner table. Don't be crossing my eating zone. One of the things I asked you about when I said, bro, even if I didn't see the cover of this DVD and I heard the name of the title, Strangers with Can, I said it leads towards, that seems like a little, I thought I'd have been watching some type of soft pedophilia type, educational type film saying this isn't cool, but it is not, that's not what it is. But what did you tell me?
Oh, it teeters on that line.
That's the best way to put it.
Jerry Blank is a damn near senior citizen, and for the majority of the movie, she's trying to fuck teenagers.
How about Brayson? Damn, I'd work its crank so hard. I should get going. Damn it, us.
Oh, but that's why her last name is perfect. Blank. You can't call her what it is. Jerry Blank. Jerry,
Yeah.
well, Jerry can be anything. Straight. She want, one moment she wants Brayson, the other minute she wants. Let me tell you, is this girl right in front of me?
Is she slim-hipped with the promise of forbidden treasures between those milky white thighs? I'm gonna make you feel so good.
I want your spermies.
Monica's having a party. You want to be my date?
I want your spermies.
Oh yeah, out of nowhere. Like, come on, she's eating that meat. She was eating that big fucking meat she was eating at the science table, the science dinner table.
That is something you have to like. You could tell that the people that made that are like, they're like art house filmmakers. They went to film school. They went through the struggle of making independent movies, because you see a lot of those little inside jokes in it where they're eating at the dinner table. Like, one of the things you always, like, every time we've shot a movie and there's a dinner scene, it's always like, we could barely afford real food to like give the cast on set and crew as craft service, let alone, and now we got to get prop food and make a table look like it was actually a full course meal. And a lot of the times in the independent film, that is what ends up getting just kind of phoned in. And in that scene, when they're all at the dinner table, you could tell it was like a play on that, because it was just like a hodgepodge of just stuff to make the plates look full. There were whole heads of lettuce, a hot dog, a whole like beef brisket, fucking like things that none of them would go together. And she's putting French dressing. If you notice, she put French dressing on everything.
I did not notice that. I didn't. One of the things I did notice and I paid attention to was sometimes even with a great script, and I'll tell you, the writing is great. As great as some of the acting is in this film, the writing stands out a bunch. But what I do want to say is, you can throw a bunch of money at maybe an actor or two or a project, and it still is not going to make it great. And sometimes people still won't see it, because I feel like this is a really good film that most people never are going to hear of or see. But when you tell me Ferris Bueller's in this,
yeah.
Everybody, this is Roger Beekman.
When you tell me
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Thank you, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Did you have sex with Alice?
Rest in
Justin
peace.
Theroux.
Dry conditions. Dodgeball! Focus. As on the road.
Yeah, like Stephen Colbert at this point. Before he changed on us.
It's over.
And when you see that these people are in this film and it's not just a throwaway 1 or 2 seconds, it's like, damn. And Stephen Colbert's acting is holding up there with Ferris Bueller.
Our long-standing...
Given our past long-standing mutuality, you'd perhaps be more generous with your letting it slide?
letting it slide?
It's and like you say, you see these characters, and by the way, Edison, sorry, this is how you actually put people in the film who you didn't think were going to be in there, still kind of make it work. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of people in the film, let's talk about. I'll say, for me, my honorable mention for scene stealer would be Principal Blackman.
Who?
Principal Onyx Blackman.
Mm.
Yes, Principal Blackman.
What happened to the documents the school board requested?
But my scene stealer,
A black man on X is what I just heard you say.
when I watched it all the way, like from the first time I saw it to when we watched it last night, David Pasquesi as Stu, the meat man.
Oh, Jerry, this is Stu, our meat man.
He is just fucking.
Oh.
He needs his own series where he's kind of like a Jack Torrance, like Shining type of character. Where
I call him to me, his character is pure, unfiltered, before it even hits the should I, should not say this conscious.
It's like they took like. Let's look at all the stereotypes of like abusive fathers and abusive stepfathers, and let's just like magnify all that by 1,000. Like, let's just give him this. First of all, why is he angry Why is he assuming like the role to even be angry that somebody's ringing the doorbell?
Is that for you?
Why is he sitting at the dinner table?
What do you think of the brisket?
Who's this guy again?
Johnny, Stu is our meat man and he is deserving of our respect.
Why is he there when the dad is coming out of the coma?
Hugs.
We have cable, right?
Why is he at the science fair performance? He's the meat man.
He is the meat man, and that was subtly implied.
Yeah, he is.
It was very much so subtly implied.
Wait.
What do you mean? Wait.
The meat man.
Yeah,
this is a current.
He's plugging his wife. He's plugging the wife.
Yeah, I know, but it's not even a. He in the first scene, he was really there with all of his meat on the kid. Like,
no, the meat had nothing to do with it.
I'm just saying
at all.
It's
when she
not
said
a
I
good
loved your
excuse.
sausage, she was talking about none of that meat on the table.
When's the last time you heard of like a meat man coming by?
Last night.
My grandmother
last
had
night
swans back in
last
90.
night when I saw this film. I know what a meat man is.
Yeah, I know.
You don't remember that movie Loverboy? Extra anchovies.
When did Loverboy take place?
Around this time. Well, before this, there've been meat man for years.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Uncle Jake.
What are you doing?
Putting a piece down.
It doesn't go there. There's a gap.
Oh, simmer down, Stu.
Clearly goes in the loin. You're trying to jam it in the shank.
I didn't know.
Look at the box.
All right, so my honorable mention was Black Men, and my scene stealer is David Pasquesi as Stu, who would but everybody in this movie was great. I mean, everybody served their purpose.
To me, it's the reverse, and it's not just because he's a black man, but it was. I'm gonna tell you why I
he
loved
killed it.
It was because it was a black man doing shady shit with a proper voice. Like you could not get him. He never really talked any slang, but he understood. He was like,
"What are you students doing?"
He's like, "So wait a minute." You never got what I sent. He was like, she was like, what happened? He was like, what happened to it? She was like, I don't know. He's like,
I know what must have happened. I didn't send it. I'm glad that's cleared up.
like.
Oh yeah. He goes, oh, I know what happened. I didn't send it.
Yeah.
No, that's taken care of. He goes, can I offer you a drink? We're in a school.
My mistake. Would you care to handle my pistol?
I think I've handled your pistol enough. And the beat that Philip Seymour Hoffman gives that, like, and he's waiting the whole time, and finally he says it.
Did you have sex with Alice?
What does he say later? She's with me now, Orion, or Onyx. She's with me now, Onyx.
She's with me now, Onyx.
With the school board.
On the Board of Ed.
Can we please keep this educational?
Speaking of school, was that not the coolest school you ever seen in your motherfucking life? It was fucking hot
They had
saunas and fucking
the teacher's lounge. Like, you could tell it was all those little like subtle plays that like Onyx Blackman is misappropriating all of the funds that get, like, none of it is going to education
at all.
It's all going to lavish lifestyles of
I
the
think
teachers.
there's one person you may be forgetting. Well, I'm just gonna say this, and you'll know who I'm talking about. Did you get my note?
Are you talking about Maniaco?
Did
Yeah. Paul Danello.
Did you get my note? Yeah, one of my students found it. Doesn't even look like me. What do you want? I was drawing it from memory.
Yeah, the art. It's okay. You could talk to me. I'm an art teacher.
I just said, but I have the mind of a child. You know?
I'm an adult, but I have the mind of a child.
He said, "Did you get my note?" But it was an illustration of him giving old boy head.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect? It was from memory. I wasn't. Joffrey. Yeah,
Joffrey.
Oh, Joffrey.
Joffrey!
Joffrey, no.
I wasn't pushing you away. I was pulling me towards myself.
I wasn't pushing you away. I was pulling me toward myself.
Top 100 lines of all time in cinema history.
Yeah, I know how hard this is to you. Trust me, I know what you're losing.
I know it. I'll be scared to lose me too.
Yeah.
When that fucking mascot comes to the door, which is one of the weirdest things ever. The fact that the teacher gets weirded out, he's like, "Man, what are you doing?" He's like, "What are you doing?"
No, the best part about that moment is he pokes the mascot in the eye.
Well, Mr. Nosy Eyes, let's see how much rallying you get done in detention.
Giddy up!
And the mascot responds like he actually got, oh, my eye. The dude's eyes are really like somewhere down here looking out the neck.
But
he poked the mascot in the eye, and the mascot is
bro,
so
have you
committed.
ever put on the mascot outfit?
That's what I'm saying. You have to be committed to the character. That eye is now your eye. That's what I'm saying. These people that made this movie, they've been through all the rungs of shitty performance art, because they like, you would only know something like that if you like on your way up the ladder of becoming an actor stood on the side of the road in a costume.
That's how I know that guy in that costume at Sesame Place really walked past that child. There you go. I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave that there, man.
You can't just leave that there. Sesame Street has done.
I said Sesame Place.
Yeah, but Sesame
Place.
That's my place. That's my place.
That's your happy place.
That was 3 miles. I grew up 3 miles from that place. That was my happy place. Don't take that away from me. When one stupid ass employee. No,
I said I was going to leave it there.
Sesame Street did way too much for the community to be destroyed by one asshole employee.
Well, give him a big bird then.
Oh yeah, touche. I'll do that.
Yeah, big bird. Yeah.
So you just need to snuffleupagus that down.
There you go, fucking grouch. Now, with that being said, here let's talk about one of the things I did not expect to see happening in this film, and that's when Broderick himself shows up. And it's always good to see him. And he doesn't do it often, but every 7-8 years he'll Michael Keaton and he'll come out and do something for a little bit.
You could tell he was having fun with it.
He was having a lot of fun in a good way. Yeah.
I got the impression that the directors were just so happy that he was there that they were just like, whatever you've been wanting, whatever character you've wished that you were casted as, you get to do that today. Whatever you want to just.
And the fact that he chose a guy that won 9 science fairs in the world without doing any science was amazing.
Oh yeah, and he gets everybody to do the work for him, and he comes running out the end like,
and he flicks
that
his
fucking
hair.
bow. Yeah.
Now, you said something to me earlier. You said there were 2 things I pointed out that made you think about it. Can you remember those 2 things? You never brought them up.
Yeah. So the first, I definitely remember one, and it's when the fire started happening at the end.
Fire!
And you said that Blackman was inciting a riot, or like by screaming fire, like the one thing that you're not supposed to do. And
fire!
I never picked up on that. I was just, my mind had been always so melted by that point in the movie that I was just buying into the absurdity of like, oh, okay, there's not really a fire, but everybody's acting like there's a fire. I just thought it was a doctor going down, a staircase. But when you said that, I was like, "Oh shit! Yeah, he is inciting this. Yeah, insurance claim. That makes sense. It's not as absurd. If there were a part in the movie, like if you were to change something about this movie, what would you change? Was there like a scene that lulled, or a character that didn't work, or a plot line that was like, meh?
If anything, I would have changed the runtime a little bit.
It does go. It does. It's like right at 2 hours.
At 18 to 22 minutes less, I'm out there marching for it, saying, man, this needs to be, but don't get me wrong. If you're a fan of that and you love that genre, then you don't mind the runtime. I'm just saying.
And I will give it to them that, like, if they had a 120-page script, they filled at least 10 jokes on every page.
Right. And then shout out to the lead who played Jerry Blank because of the fact that I got to give her credit that she didn't break character like at all. And like for me to not know, like, you have to understand, you can't just introduce Ernest. We saw so much of Ernest throughout our time. Like they're going for, like, this is a one shot. Like you said there was a series before this. I didn't know that. I didn't know about it.
It didn't get much play. It didn't get much promotion. And yeah,
that's just like the film. The film came out.
That was my first thought though when I saw it. I was like, who is it? Like, no, you don't just develop a character. Who do you think? You're not Ernest. You're not Medea.
Right.
Who the fuck you? But it holds weight. She's so committed to it. Yeah. And when you see her it's Amy Sedaris. Her brother's a fantastic author. She's a comedian, actress, character actress, obviously. She does a show now. I think she still does it, called At Home with Amy. Very, very like normal with a quirk. But she's actually pretty attractive in real life. If you can believe that.
But she could. One thing I respect about it is like, hey man, listen, the show didn't make it. I don't know if the movie's going to make it, but you know what? We're gonna, again, like we talked about before. With the interview you did with the interview that we just watched, that you just recently dropped on our channel,
Larry Hankin.
Like I said, you are a success by not quitting. Mm-hmm. This is a success. Somebody's going to see this one day, and it's going to inspire one young lady or young man to want to write film or say that the same way when we saw Beetlejuice. The guy whoever came up with the staircase scene in Beetlejuice could have never envisioned one day that 30, 40 years from now, we'd be sitting here saying it's one of the top 2 staircase scenes ever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what art is. Art is everlasting. So they are a success because it lives on.
So what would you give Strangers with Candy 1 through 5?
3.5.
That's solid. That's solid. I think it would have been
20 minutes less runtime, then we're going up there. Yeah.
I think you'd enjoy the series then, because the series is like quick, 18 minutes in and out each episode. You can knock out a whole season.
I can see that more that way. Now you're talking about, hey, what do I rate this series? Then we're different. I just wish it would have got more play. You know what I feel like? I'm okay, it's just sacrilegious, but please understand in the context I'm trying to say this. I don't want to say it because I just hear what I'm trying to say here a little bit.
I'm trying.
Always Sunny is epic, but if they weren't given the chance, even without Danny DeVito, that show was funny. I watched the first full season without it, but I feel like they didn't get their chance to get that person to even make this lore grow a little bit more, because the characters we just named, from the Meat Man and Black Man and all these other things, if it was a show that could have grown, then had that opportunity, maybe we could have seen it had potential to become great. It's not Sunny, it's not The Office. I'm saying it at least had some of the core elements that if it were formatted the correct way, if it was raised
I don't know. I think the show and the movie, the characters are not meant for like long time consumption. So? They're not like characters that are going to grow or change or evolve in any way. Like they're like the anti version of those characters. I think they could only survive for 2 seasons in a movie at most.
I can see that.
Because you saw it at the end. She's like,
Now I know that I shouldn't feel the way I so strongly still do.
Oh, she's all about it.
Like, I don't. I learned a whole bunch of stuff about that. Taught me that I shouldn't feel the way I still very much still feel.
Yeah. So okay, you know what? I'll give you that. I can see that happening. But yeah, no, I'll give it a 3.5. And that's not bad.
I give it a 4. Just I mean, it's solid comedy.
See why I told you should start going to 10, because I would have been able to give this a 4.
Give me this. You have never seen anything like it.
That's not true. You've taken me down a ride.
Yeah,
between Living Wake, between the 10.
It's definitely in that vein of absurdist comedy, but this I feel like takes it to a whole other.
Remember Being There. After watching Being There, nothing get more absurd than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're all in the same vein. But
when you say nothing, you're right. It's unique in that there is nothing like that. Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, and it's like a particular style of comedy that they went with, where it's like taking an after-school special and making it ridiculous.
See me after class.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, Jerry.
It's their thing. The series is the same way, and I wish Stephen Colbert would go back to that style of comedy because he plays it so well.
I just want to know how Chris Pratt got in this film.
That is a very interesting story that I would like to know as well. I have no idea.
I see no connection. I'm the king connection. I see nothing here. Like,
could you think of a, because this is not a film that Black people would stumble upon and just watch willingly.
I'll agree with that.
Could you think of a single Black person that would enjoy this sincerely, that you know personally? I'm just trying to figure out what makes it, because it's a good comedy.
Tess Brooks.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, he could appreciate it, I'm sure.
But look how long it took me to search my goddamn. I was like the Terminator. I was going through I went through like 3 million Black people. What do you think? I got the test.
What do you think that because the comedy is like, it's just A/B punchline jokes. Like, there's nothing like, you don't have to necessarily.
Yeah, but it's the rhythm that they're giving in. You don't even have time to laugh because she drops. Oh my God, Wakatiti. She fucks him up all the way through the film.
It was amazing. That was nothing. Filipino?
Indonesian.
Java, Sumatra.
Sumatra.
I smuggled a lot of peppercorns across the straits of Sunda. Rough seas.
Yeah,
like the fact that we haven't
it was
even
hard on
mentioned
that.
him this far into this review is like
Megawati.
Megawati.
Yeah, they put him in a cage at the end.
I didn't bring that up.
blackface.
Yeah, well, it's not technically blackface.
Well, they made him a literal.
It's dark face or something. It wasn't nice. It felt bad. Like you didn't want to laugh at that part because in the TV, you didn't even see me laughing. I was like,
no, it looked.
I knew it was him, but I didn't want to ask you, was it him?
I would say that didn't age well, but I feel like that was expired upon release. Like right off the shelves, it was already outdated. Yeah, it's still
feels bad even talking about it now.
So it's just the time. So it's just the timing, the rhythm of it. It's too.
No, I'm saying like as far as how long the film is. Or,
no,
but
just
the joke,
why.
Oh no,
the
that
average black person would look.
Well,
at
no,
that
it's just.
like,
I mean, first off, number one, we were always told in our culture, don't you anybody offering you candy, get the fuck away from them. That's number one. Number two,
you heard Tarantino.
Right there, you go. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah.
Right? And then of course we don't talk to strangers. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, Uncle Jake, Uncle John, Uncle Josh, hey man, hey, nah man. No, we not having that, B. And look at it. What about that is appealing to a black person to say, oh, that seems like trouble. Because even by me looking at it, they're gonna be like, you touching that white girl's ass? All right.
Brown.
What are you doing
white.
with this in here? Like, you know, I mean, see, and now I've lost half of my viewers.
I just I would feel like that should change. Like
That's what Martin
especially
Luther King
with like
wanted.
Netflix and streaming services where you can privately guilt like have your guilt watches in the comfort of your own home.
You're
without
walking down a
anybody
dangerous
knowing.
road, friend.
What? Why?
You know why? Because someday some high schools want to have a private meeting with the whites and the blacks in 2022.
I mean, didn't
Douglas Anderson do that?
Yeah.
And that's the fucking trailer. Bam!
All right, guys, if you have not seen Stranger Things, why do I keep saying Stranger Things? Oh, because there's an awesome meme on our Instagram that mashes up Stranger Things with
Strangers with Candy.
You should look at that. But also, go watch Strangers with Candy, the movie,
should.
if
It's
you
funny.
haven't seen it yet.
It's funny.
Black, white,
Blue, yellow, Simpson yellow.
If you're like Asian American, what would Megawati be?
Filipino?
Indonesian.
Java, Sumatra.
I don't even want to make an assumption. It's racially charged in specific directions. It seems like they had something against the Islanders. Is that? You just go fucking mannequin over there while I bury myself. All right, yeah, go check out Strangers with Candy.
I knew those wheels were going to spin, baby. I knew he's turning red.
Watch the guy. Is it itchy in here? I feel itchy. Watch the movie.
Ichiban, what you say?
Or watch the show, and you could watch them interchangeably. It doesn't matter what order you consume them in; they'll make just as much sense.
That's what she said.
Smoke a whole bunch of weed, eat some shrooms, drink some drinks,
Do some
do
acid.
some drugs, and yeah, it's a
Stay
good
off
time.
that fentanyl, though. It's killing.
He doesn't regret it, and you won't either.
All right.
Think about it.
Outro, we're just going to walk away now.